Okay, 27 has two separate inequalities. You have this one here, and then you have this one here. And they are separated by the word or. Okay, so I am going to start with the one in yellow. And I'm going to solve it for z. Let's go with a orangey color on this one. Okay, so I am going to subtract the 2 from both sides. That way it cancels out here. And the negative 38 minus 2 is a negative 40. And that is less than or equal to negative 5z. Now, I just want the z, not the negative 5, and since they're multiplied together, turn around and divide them off. But you have to remember that when you divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, your inequality sign, which is this less than or equal to, becomes a greater than or equal to. And negative 40 divided by negative 5 is an 8. And then over here, negative 5 over negative 5 is just 1z. Now, inequalities are easier to understand when you go to graph them or put them in an interval or, anything when the variable's on the left. So when they say 8 is greater than or equal to z, that is the same thing as saying z is less than or equal to the 8, which makes more sense to me. Okay, and then we've got a big or here. And now I'm going to do the other equation that's highlighted in pink, and that is negative 5z plus 2 is less than or equal to negative 8. All right, so I am going to subtract the 2. Boom. That'll leave the negative 5z on the left side, and then balance on the right. Negative 8 minus 2, negative 10. And then to get rid of the negative 5, since it's multiplied onto the z, I will divide it off. And what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. And of course, negative 5 over negative 5 makes that a positive z, but I, again, just divided by a negative. So I have to flip my less than or equal to a greater than or equal to, and negative 10 divided by 5 is a 2. Now you're supposed to express these answers as intervals, and it helps to come up with the interval if you actually graph it on a number line. So I'm going to draw a number line. My two numbers are 8 and 2, so if 2's down here somewhere, then 8's up here, because numbers on number lines go from smallest to largest from left to right. And I'm going to use my highlighter again. Okay. For this inequality here, if x is less than or equal, z. If z is less than or equal to an 8, I would put a bracket on the 8, and then I would highlight my number line going to the left. The other one is z is greater than or equal to a 2. Because of the equal to, I would need a bracket here. And then I would highlight going to the right. Now you can see that the pink and the yellow overlap, and actually when you pink and yellow kind of make an orangey color, but they overlap right here as well as the bracket parts. And if the word in between had been an and, okay, if it had been the word and, then I would be looking at just the orange part where they overlap. And then that interval would simply be from 2 to 8. But this one is an or. So it can be yellow or pink or orange in this case because they overlap. So it can be either of these. So it can be from here going that way or from here going that way. It could be any of that. And that's the entire number line. And so the interval for that, since it's the entire number line, would be from negative infinity to positive infinity. So for this problem, this is my final answer right there. Negative infinity to positive infinity, because you're wanting it can be the yellow or it can be the pink. And since they're going in opposite directions, but they cross over each other, you're literally highlighting the entire number line. Every number could be Z, all real numbers. Hope that makes sense.